Hi guys, thank you for clicking on this video. I've brought today my mom, Hope Park. She's an amazing, wise woman, and we're going to talk today about breaking free from social norms and expectations in order to truly become you and who you're meant to be. So, what is your vision and purpose for this? What is the biggest message you want to tell everyone today?
Well, I think in living, especially in this time, that so many people are telling us who we are at such a young age, and they're telling us what we should be doing and how much we should work and that we need to go to college, and they're just telling us everything about who we are, but it really isn't who we are. So I would really like people to be awakened to their authentic self and become authentically you.
Is that anything that you've personally gone through, or is that just something you're seeing?
It's been kind of a long process. In the beginning, I was one of those kids that really wanted to please others. I wanted to make sure that I was acceptable, and I thought in order to be acceptable, I had to be in sports and I had to go to a specific college because it would make the people in my life happy. I remember one time signing up for college for something that I enjoyed but I wasn't that good at, and just being like, wow, am I actually signing up for this computer programming when I don't know anything about it, and I don't really want really want to go to college right now because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I remember just being kind of terrified about that, and just doing it because I was supposed to, and it wasn't where I was going to end up. So yes, I've experienced it, and I've gone through doing what other people want me to do, doing what society wants me to do, and I've come to a place now where I do make my own decisions.
Yeah.
And it's freeing.
And it's funny because knowing you and hearing that story is surprising to me too, because I totally see that your strengths are not in the areas of computer programming. Yeah. So it's just cool to see how everything comes around in its time. But what is one of your tips for people to work through this same issue that you've gone through? Like, what are some things they need to consider?
Well, sometimes you'll just hear something inside of yourself, like your conscience, or something just telling you, you should look into this, or you shouldn't listen to what that person says, or this isn't right. I would say listen to that. Stop and listen to that. It can get really noisy when everybody else is telling you what to do, and when society is telling you what to think and what to believe. It can get noisy, but there's still something inside of you that if you listen and you stop for a second, drown out all the rest of that noise, and really listen to what you want and who you are, then you can start to make progress. You can start to research and start to have your own thoughts and your own ideas.
Yeah, I'm really blessed by how you and Dad parented me in a way that cultivated that happening, to where I was able to discover things that I was passionate about and things that I actually wanted to do for my career path and all of that at such an early age. So to me, this whole idea is foreign because I've actually never felt almost any social, cultural, family pressures, and I'm so blessed by that you were able to turn around and give that to me. But I did realize, like, you always gave me the ability to cultivate my own views and opinions. You did give me your thoughts, but you gave me room to figure things out, and that helped it so much. So one thing that I take from that is I think our current generation and previous generations are not very happy. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, purpose has brought me so much joy. And so finding that purpose is kind of the key to happiness. That's
right. And then when you're just doing things for other people, you want to please them, but it doesn't actually bring you personal fulfillment. So when you start doing things that is a part of you, when you start realizing, oh, I like alternative foods. I like to learn more about eating this way. I don't have to eat the way the food pyramid says, you know, all these grains and, oh, now my body feels better. Now, you know, they're my own inner thoughts. I'm acting out on them. Now I'm feeling healthier because I'm doing something different. It's not the way society says to do it. It's something that I felt inside. I'm becoming more authentically who I am when I do those things. Each step, each time I follow something that I'm feeling, you know, truth from inside, I'm able to become more and more authentically who I am. And there have been many issues like that throughout my life where I've been able to go from just needing others' approval, needing others to accept me, wanting others to accept me so bad, and basically doing what society says so I can fit in. But the more and more I step out of that and do what is who I really am, the more confident I become, the more happy I am, because I'm actually living a life that I want, not a life that everybody else wants for me. I'm not afraid to step out and look different and make those, you know, make those people maybe say, oh, I wish you would have done this. Oh, you know, you should have went to 4-year college. I know, I'm okay with that. I say, I have the best job ever. Yes, I stay at home with my kids. I homeschool, but that is for me. It's not for everybody, but that was meant for me, and I'm happy, and it brings joy and purpose to my life, and makes me more authentically who I am.
One thing that's interesting about that is you at your young age did have no views of becoming a mom or a stay-at-home mom or wife at that age. It wasn't on your agenda, and it was also never presented to you as an option, really.
Right.
And it's just interesting how, even though getting married super young when you weren't necessarily in a place of being ready and prepared for it, which was at the time a very challenging decision and possibly not the best decision at the time. Who knows? But it's cool how even when you do make those decisions, you are still choosing and you're still moving forward, and it might even bring you to what your true passion is. And for you, I can sense just a motherly spirit from you that is very real. It's not like it was acquired or it was always there. But it's cool that through the decisions that you made and the things that happened, you were able to truly find that, even if they didn't seem ideal right away.
Right, and because of the way that society is set up, it's set up for industry. It's set up for careers and jobs and keeping the country going and money. And if you're making money and if you're, you know, out in society doing your part, that's what's valuable. Well, the reason why I never even tapped really into that motherhood is because it totally wasn't taught in our school system.
Yeah.
It was independence, and it was making sure you have a career. Everybody works. So I didn't even get that awakened until I had my family and realized, oh, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. It's been this all along. So yeah, it wasn't really given to me as an option.
Yeah.
Learning in school.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that even if some decisions that you might have made weren't ideal at the time, they still brought you where you are. Like, you're still in the place that you are of self-discovery and realizing that your passions truly are what you're doing right now. And that's the blessing that we all want, is to find that calling in us and to be able to live it. And some of us are blessed with a situation like me where I can easily find that, but for other people it takes a long, long time. Did it take a long time for you, or was it instant?
I feel like it's just been a process, and has mostly happened for me where I have the confidence that I have now in the last 4 or 5 years. I was always scared. I was always worried. What are they going to think about me? Are they going to think I'm not valuable because I don't have a job? Are they going to think, you know, that I'm wasting my life or whatever? So I always would try to go back and get a job for a while, and then I would come home and I would realize, well, that isn't really what I want to do, but I think I'm supposed to. And I'd always end up coming back. And there was just a point where it clicked, and it was like, your job is valuable. What you're doing is valuable, regardless of what anybody else thinks. This is for you. And when I realized that, it didn't matter what anybody else said. I was confident. So, and I stopped chasing the American dream or whatever that is. You know?
So even after you kind of were settled into your passion, your purpose, it was still hard to shake off all of those expectations even in that, and to stand with confidence in that. So something to tangibly do to get through that is to own your own ideas, and not be afraid to disappoint other people. That was a big point we were talking about. And it's cool that you were able to work through that, and also interesting to note that that wasn't instant. It was a process, and we're always growing from the day we're born to the day we die. So it's just great that you've been able to find that a lot of people never even find that purpose.
And I think everyone's well-meaning. You know, they're well-meaning when they say, you need to make a lot of money, you need to travel a lot, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's because that's what they want. They really want that for themselves, and that's what's valuable to them. So they're saying, this is what you want. Because they love you, or because, you know, there are people like that. I mean, sometimes, yes, in society, it's because they want a collective mind, and they want everyone to think alike. You know, that's not cool. But sometimes it's the people that you love that might have expectations on you. And even though it's different than what you would want, it's because they care. Yeah. And it's because they think that that's what's valuable. But your values and your ideas might be different. And that's great. Yeah. And that's okay. It's not an insult if you choose to do something differently than someone else. But it is hard at first to step out and say, you know, actually, that isn't me. But thank you, you know.
So all you parents out there, you have one of the biggest jobs in the world. It's one of the most valuable jobs because you're setting people up to live. And I think that you guys should try to parent your children in a way that my parents have been able to with me, in a way that allows me to truly grow into myself, who is different from both of them, who's taken pieces from both of them, but they gave me the freedom to find that, and that to me is one of the greatest purposes that a person can have. Do you have anything else to add before we talk about your feature?
Well, I would just say one last thing that I would add is a good way to start becoming authentic is when society throws something at you, you ask why. Why should I do that? And then research it. You know, you don't just have to take everything you're fed. Don't take anything you're fed. Research everything. Like, that's what I tell people. I say, I'm telling you this, but don't listen to me. Research it. Or how do you feel inside about this? Or is it speaking to you? If it's not, just ignore it. You know, so really just start asking why. Why? You know, why do I do this? And, you know, why do I listen to this group of society? And am I really getting all the information? Look at multiple sources. Don't just look at one source. I mean, just really start wanting to be awake to what's really going on, to who you really are. Ask why. Listen to that inner voice that's telling you, you know, to do or to go, you know, and do something, or to stay, whatever it is. Just tune in and start just to really listen to what your conscious is telling you, or and not just what everybody else around you is trying to tell you.
I think education is all about, like, learning a little of everything, but it doesn't promote learning yourself, and I think that's one of the most important things to do. And I've been able to do that over time too, and even now I'm still building on that knowledge and realizing things about me and about other people, and you gain insight, and then you can live life to the fullest when you understand that better. All right, I think that was most of what we had talked about. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you to mention your charity or organization that you were going to talk about.
Well, one of the charities that I've found that I really enjoy being a part of is Compassion International. They are a company that is a sponsorship, so you sponsor children, and it's about $36 a month. But the majority of that money goes to the family for their needs. And you get these great little letters from the child, and sometimes it'll have pictures that they've drawn you. And that is what I really love about this company. This company seems to have the most interaction with the child. We've gotten quite a few of these letters, and we've only been doing this for maybe like 6 months. So that's really cool because you get to hear different things like what do they like? What is your sponsor saying? They answer your questions. And the cool thing with this one is we got a boy who was born on the same day as our son. So they interact. Now it's the same day, but it's a different year. So he's a couple years younger, but you can line it up to where it matches exactly with your child. So, and my son has actually decided to send him some things, and that's been really neat. So there are lots of kids. Here's some pictures of some of the kids who need sponsors. So if you're interested, you can go on www.compassion.com and sponsor a child today.
And I will put that link in the description for people who are interested. So I want to say thank you for coming on the channel. My lovely mom, I look up to you so much. And I am blessed by our conversation. So thank you for sharing that. Now we're getting teary, so we're going to turn it off. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.